Hello everybody, welcome to my final video of 2019. Happy New Year's Eve. I hope you guys have had a really good Christmas season. I filmed this video every year that I have been on YouTube, and I used to do it in like a YouTube wind up, like a my year in 10 minutes kind of video, but I have filmed so much content this year that I wouldn't even know where to begin if I was to make like a mashup of 2019. And part of me thinks like that's all already on YouTube. If you want to watch my year, you really can watch it pretty much all, because I've vlogged every single week of 2019. So if you want to watch it, you can. But I'm not going to put it all in one video because quite frankly I don't have the time to edit that. Yeah, it's just bizarre. I get kind of like a bit nostalgic when I watch all my videos back, and I don't ever really do it. In fact, I never watch a video back. Once it's up and once I've uploaded it on that day, I don't watch it again. So it was very bizarre for me to just go back and watch this video that I filmed this time last year on this exact day, where I set myself my goals for 2019 and I spoke about my highlights from 2018. And I watched that and I thought, wow, I'm in a really different place to where I was this time last year, because Christmas last year I was still doing my foundation course at uni and I felt very unsettled, very unsure of what I was going to be doing in a year, and very unsure of if I'd even made the right decision. This year I feel a lot more confident in myself that I'm doing the right thing, which is so good. And I think that I really needed to make this step to know that, and by this step I mean like doing YouTube full time, taking social media on as a full-time job, because it was a risk and I knew it was a risk and I didn't do it, which is why I went to uni, which is why I did my foundation course, because I'm not the most subscribed to YouTuber, I'm not the most followed on Instagram, and I thought, is this gamble really going to pay off? And that was only really something I could test once I'd started doing it, and now that I've done it, I'm incredibly glad that I have. So I just made a list of my resolutions for the year that I want to reflect on, and then I have a couple of goals for 2020, which just is crazy. Can you believe that we're going into a new decade? I feel like if you're around my age and you're watching this, the 2010s have been a huge decade for all of us really, because we've grown so much. Like the start of this decade, everything was so different. Technology was so different. Social media hadn't properly been born. Twitter and Instagram as we know it now wasn't a thing. I was in primary school at the start of the decade, and now I'm working full time being self-employed by the end of the decade. It's so mad. And in that time I've gone through all of high school and all of sixth form and college. Like, it's just so much has happened in this decade. I don't think there'll be another decade where as many life events take place, apart from maybe the 20s, because by the end of the 20s I'll be in my 30s, and that really gives me the fear, because when I turned 20 everyone was like, oh, your next 10 years you're gonna get married, you're gonna have children, you're gonna do this, you're gonna do this, and I was like So that's not something that we're thinking about, but I just can't believe we're going into the 20s. Like, what are we going to refer to them as? Are they going to be the 20s? Because in my head the 20s are like American 1920s, we love prohibition, like not the 20s that are about to start next week or tomorrow. Whew, sidetracked. I always get a bit nostalgic and a bit like in a weird headspace around New Year, because I just think it's a really bizarre time where everyone gets really kind of unnecessarily sentimental. But this year I think it is different, like we're going into a new decade. So the goals that I set for myself last year weren't really anything that I could or couldn't achieve. Like, they were very wishy-washy, they were up in the air. They were like, I want to do this, I want to do this, and I was not very specific, which was good, because I think I don't like setting myself a specific target. Like, I don't want to sit here and be like, this time next year I want 200,000 subscribers, because I don't like that. I just think that what will happen, and if you then don't achieve it, you're only going to be disappointed. So the targets I set myself for this year was to be proud of the fact that I do YouTube full time and not be embarrassed when telling people what I do. And I would say generally, for the most part, this is something I've worked on and I'm now happy with. Like, as I mentioned, I'm really like content with where I am. I feel like I've made the right decision. I don't feel like I'm doing the wrong thing. And I know a lot of people have a lot of opinions about the fact that I'm not getting a degree, the fact that I don't have a real job. Like, that is fine, and I think people are entitled to their own opinion. I'm not that bothered. But within myself, I am happy with where I am and like what I'm doing and what I'm earning and like that kind of stuff. All of that is a yes. I think the only flip side to that situation is if a total stranger asks me what I do. So this memory sticks out so specifically in my head. I was in a lift, right, by myself in Liverpool. So I was getting a lift up this hotel, to meet my friend at the room, and I was in this lift with this man, and he was quite drunk, and he went, "Oh, are you a student in Liverpool?" And I just couldn't be bothered to explain, like I just couldn't. So I just said yes, thinking it would shut him up, and he went, "Oh, what do you study? Like, which uni are you at?" So for no reason, I don't know why I said this, I don't know why it came out, I went, "Oh, I'm a physics student at Liverpool Uni." I'm literally not. I've never been, like, I'm the least physics student that's ever walked the planet. And he went, "Oh, impressive," and got out the lift, and I was like, it was an easier conversation. I could explain it in the time the lift took to go up the floors without having to explain what a YouTuber was. And he was quite old, so I was just like, I'll let him think that I'm doing that and it's fine. But to people that watch YouTube or to other YouTubers, like, I'm really happy with the fact that I do it full time. So I'm glad we've covered that one. A big one that I said last year was I wanted to travel more. 2019 has been a year of travel for sure. I have travelled so much this year and I'm so grateful for it. I am so fortunate and so lucky and very privileged, and I know that. Everything I earn and save up really does go on travel. Like, I don't really ever spend it on anything else, not a lot of money anyway, not like a big chunk of money. This year I think I've been to 11 places, but I kind of want to go through it because they've been amazing. So in February I went with my mum to New York, which is my favourite place on the earth. In April I went with my boyfriend Tom to Barcelona. In May and June I travelled Italy with my friend Eleanor, which was probably one of the best trips I've ever done. If you ever get a chance to like road trip around Italy or interrail around Italy, I really recommend it. Everywhere we went was absolutely stunning, and I've never fallen in love with the country more than I fell in love with Italy. And then after that I went on a branded trip to Benidorm, which was amazing. I went with Hannah. I'd never been on a brand trip before, so going with Ice Lolly, which was the travel company that took us, was incredible, and the 5 days that we were there was just so good. So that was something I definitely want to try and do more in 2020. I'd love to go on more brand trips because combining what I love doing with working is like my dream. And then I went to Mallorca with my friend from school, Gabby, and then I went to Thessalonica in Greece, which was so spontaneous and last minute with my friend Rachel. We met up one day for lunch and booked a holiday just on a whim, and it was so cheap, so affordable, and we only stayed for 3 days, but it was so much fun. And then I went on a family holiday to Florida, which was probably the highlight of my year. I loved Florida. It was incredible to go with Tom. It was so good. And then once I got back from there, I went to Amsterdam on another brand trip, which was amazing. I went with Clink Hostels and I stayed in my first hostel, which was really fun. And I saw a total different side to Amsterdam, which was great. And then I visited my friend Eve in Berlin, because she lived in Germany for a month, so I went to Berlin. I've never been to Germany before. That was on my list. Last year in my video I said I want to visit Germany, so I've done that. And then after Germany I went to Iceland for my birthday with my boyfriend, which was again incredible. And before this year I'd never even thought about going there, but now I've been. I'm really glad that I did because it was so different to anywhere else I've ever visited. So travel I can definitely tick off. Another one I said was to exercise more, which everybody says, don't they? It turns to January the 1st, everyone's like, yeah, I want to go to the gym, but I actually did do this. It took me until July to get a gym membership, so the first 7 months of the year, actually no, to be fair, I was still at uni and I had a gym membership in Leeds until about May, but I didn't really properly use it. So I started going to the gym at home in July, and I would say I have become pretty good at that. I probably go to the gym 2 or 3 times a week if I'm at home because I enjoy going, so I would tick that off. And then the last one I said was to write more or to start a blog, which I actually have done. I have started a blog. I haven't written to it very much. I've only written like 3 posts, but I started it, so technically. And they were my goals for this year. I think that was pretty much everything I said. A lot of it was focused around traveling, and that is basically my goal going into 2020 as well. There's nothing I really can massively say I want to achieve in the next year that's not already like ongoing. So obviously creating content to YouTube, I want to really up my game, and every creator says that, but over the last few months I've really found what I love doing, and that is like travel themed challenges. My favourite video out of the year that is instantly stands out to me is the video where Harry and I went all the way down the country on like a really tight budget with no plan, with no car, and just saw how far we could get. And we ended up in like Worthing and Chichester, and it was random and it was kind of pointless, but it was so much fun. The video did really well. Everybody was like positive feedback on it, and I just really liked that. And going into 2020 I want to do way more of that. I want to do international travel challenges. I want to do like how cheap can we get the flight, like how far from home can we get on like whatever amount of money, because that's the kind of content I really enjoy doing, and it means I can do it with my brother or my boyfriend, and I love having other people in my videos. That works really well for me. The main thing on my mind about the new year right now is that I actually leave for Australia on the 2nd of January, which is the day after tomorrow when you're watching this. I am incredibly nervous and I am very excited. I am also very nervous because I am going completely solo traveling. I am going on my own. I don't know anybody out there. I am doing it in a group, so everybody keeps commenting like, I can't believe you're just backpacking by yourself. I'm doing it in a travel group and a tour group, so once I've met them, hopefully I'll make some friends. But as it goes, in terms of getting there, in terms of settling in, I am doing it alone, and I think it's a big step. So my main goal, thinking about the new year right now, is to not stress about it too much, to enjoy every single second of it, because it's a once in a lifetime thing. I'm probably never going to go back to Australia unless I absolutely fall in love with it. So I want to enjoy it, I want to love it as much as I can. So that is a real goal, a real target, and I want to create the best content. I want to create a series of travel vlogs unlike any that I've done before, because Australia is so different. In fact, this whole trip is so different to anything I've ever done. So that is a big goal. Other things I'd like to achieve is just like more personal stuff. I'd love to invest my money into something. I don't know what. Yeah, I don't really know what I want to invest in, but I want to invest in something. I want to maybe get a new car in 2020. I'm not sure. Towards the end of it, I would love to like upgrade my car, because I'm 21 at the end of this year, which is crazy. In 10 months time, I'm 21. So by the time I watch this next New Year's Eve, yeah, I'll be 21, which is mad. I think my main target for the end of the year, so like Australia is my beginning of the year target. My YouTube content is my all year round target. And my end of year target is Tom and I are really looking at going to San Francisco and to LA and like Los Angeles, because I've never been to LA, I've never been to the west coast of America. I really want to, and Tom also really wants to, so we are looking at planning that, getting that done towards the end of next year. So hopefully I'll have been by the time 2021 rolls around. 2021. And then there's just a couple of other little things. This year I've been so lucky that I've actually collaborated with like a few different brands on products. So my main one obviously that springs to mind is my phone case that I've just brought out with Coconut Lane. This was something I have wanted to do for a really long time. Trust me when I say that. I have thought about reaching out to them and be like, hi, could we collaborate? But I'm just quite shy, and I was like, oh, I don't want to do that. I like working with them how I work with them, and I don't want to like overstep the line. So then when they reached out to me and was like, oh, we want you to collaborate with us, I was like, ah, yes. So that was amazing, and I would love to do more stuff like that going into 2020. I don't know with who and I don't know what, but I loved doing that kind of thing because there are brands that I really like, and I'm like genuinely passionate about creating stuff like this. So I'd love to do either more with Coconut Lane or something similar. I think that is the majority of the targets and goals that I have. I think it's just nice to sit down and have a chat at the end of the year, because also this is my last video going up now until I'm already in Australia. So I have pre-recorded 7 weeks worth of content, which was a lot and is a lot and has taken me the majority of December. I literally allocated the whole month off so that I could do all of that, and it has been a stress with Christmas as well, let me tell you. I will be back a week today. I think that makes it January the 6th or 7th, whatever date next Tuesday is, and I shall be back with another video then. So I hope you guys have a really lovely new year. Let me know down in the comments what your resolutions are for 2020, what you want to achieve, what you want to get done, and what you're most proud of for 2019. I think a lot of the stuff I have got over is like my stress and anxiety about making the right decision in terms of my future. My constant feeling of what if this is wrong has kind of gone, which is so good. So let me know in the comments what yours are, and I shall be back on my channel next Tuesday. As I've said a lot recently, if you do want to keep up to date with my journey in Australia, I'll be the most active over on my Instagram. So if you want to follow my Instagram, it is just here. The @ is always down below, but I will be posting photos and stories from my trip in Australia whilst I'm out there, whereas my vlogs are all coming once I'm back, so that'll be like February time. But yeah, I hope you guys have the best new year, and I shall see you on Tuesday next week. Bye guys.